Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7. Today's going to be another one of those talking videos. We're going to talk just a little bit about Molagoras today and why I think it's time for another change. Not really a hot take or anything. Oh, Jesus Lord. Not really a hot take or anything. I'm pretty sure this is what everybody wants at this point. But I feel like it's getting worse and worse and worse as we go on. And as we hit a season where I feel like this is Mango feels, I said I feel like not I am confirming, but this is a season where I feel like we're going to be getting a collaboration soon, either a rerun with Eno or an entirely new one. I feel like I'm just so far behind on Molagoras, I don't even know what to do. And I think a lot of us are kind of in this position right now. So let's just take a look at our Molagoras here, because it's rough. It's getting really badly. So right now I have a total of, I actually have a bit of molas left over right now because I'm trying to decide who to get it. Oh, just kidding. I don't have a bit of molas left. I have 13 molas, 14 Molagoras left. No Molagora go, I don't think. So if we take a look at our units here, let's take a look at our units. So this is tough. So out of all my units here, we have Sirmia, a unit I've used for a really long time and I really like, but I couldn't risk the Molagora on her. Not risk, but I couldn't put it in, and that caused me not to use her a lot, you know? Like, I would use her much more if I had more Molagoras into her, but I just couldn't justify it. We have Cecilia here, one of my favorite units to use ever, and a unit I've tried to use a lot, that I basically have a hard time using even after the buff, because I'm missing 10% effect chance on her defense break. I'm missing 10% there, I'm missing 10% there, and I'm missing a bunch of damage. So I'm sitting at +7 right now. I can't really realistically put any more in because of that. We've then got our Charlotte, who's sitting at +0. I would love to try out Charlotte. You know, I would love to see how this change kind of works, and I'd be really happy to use her, but I legit just can't. I definitely can't use her without that extra 5-10 fighting spirit. That's a lot. You know, I just can't do it. We then have our Kawana, a unit I love to death. I love her so much, and it is super wasteful. All of these Molagoras on here basically stop me from progressing a little bit because, you know, I wanted to put her in here because she's flipping adorable, but this super hurt my account doing this, because this means this took away Molagoras from a bunch of other units like my, we'll see in a bit. Then we have our Lidica. Right now, our Lidica, I would love to use her more too. I would love to try her out after these buff changes, but whatever I try out, I feel like it's not going to be good enough, because we're going to be missing 15% hit chance. We're going to be missing a ton of damage. You know, it's just going to be interesting. Araminta, my bad. I should have 15 Araminta a week into the game, but I just went to do it too late, and instead we're stuck here missing 10% effect chance, missing damage, and it feels real bad. We then have our Melissa. Arguably, the biggest nerf to my account was Melissa. This is 15 Molagoras, not only that are not in units that I do better with, but they're 15 Molagoras that actively cause me to lose in PvP all the time. So that's my bad. But I wanted to use her, and she's one of my projects I love more than anything, and it just makes me really sad that my account is negatively affected because of this Molagora choice. We then have our Tamarin, a character I use literally everywhere. This is well worth the 8 Molagora. Not much to say about that one. We've then got our Luna, our triple S Luna, the biggest doofus mistake I've ever made in E7. And I'm sitting here without anything in them because I didn't put them in Molagora because I wanted to put them in more pet projects, you know, and that makes me feel bad. We then have our Crow here, and Crow definitely would like some more Molagoras here, like not having that 10% provoke, not having the cooldown on here, which does matter sometimes, but not really, you know. And then we have Kisei, another character I love to death, but I'm missing Molagora on our skill 2 again. I'm missing some damage, you know. We then have Cerise, my favorite unit in the game right now, one that I probably will be 15ing next, even though I know I shouldn't. I've got more Molagora already than I theoretically should have in her. I just love this character so much, and I love her playstyle that I have to do it, you know? Like, I want these Molagoras in here, especially since I'm going to be using her on my defense a lot. She really needs to get all of the things she needs. We've then got our SSB plus 15, as everything should be. We've got our Dizzy sitting at plus 9, a character I use basically 24/7 for a long time. I'm actually really mad at myself for not 15ing Dizzy, or at least plus 5ing I used to catch this fish, because she's fantastic and the extra damage helps out so much, but there's just can't even get close with Molagoras here. We then have our Angelica here. I used her for a while and I still was only able to put like 4 Molagoras into her. We've got our Diane, same thing here. Kind of wasted for me since I don't use Diane too much, but it is what it is. We've got Elena, one of my favorite units ever to use again. We're basically maxed out on her Mola usage. We could get more damage, but she almost does 0 damage here. And then we have Valencia, another one of my 15 pet projects here. And while I do love Valencia, I think these would have definitely been better in many other choices. Again, choices we will hit in a second. I don't use her as much as I maybe should, but those are her Molagoras there. We've got Lilibet, a character I want to use again so badly, but I legit just can't. I try to use her and she does like 10% too little damage and doesn't kill somebody, and then I lose in Guild War. It's really frustrating, but there's nothing I can theoretically do about it unless I put another set of Molagoras into here. And if I want it to last longer than the first turn and do a little more damage, I need some in there as well. Same exact boat for Euphine here. I did put a little more Molagoras into her than the Lilibet, but these are what she's sitting on right now. And I would love to put more into her. I would love to get more effectiveness into her. And a lot of this talk is more focused around higher end PvP, where every last skill up matters, especially when you're going against hard guilds. It is so frustrating when you fight somebody and you lose by like 1% HP, and you know they're sitting there with their imprints and their plus 15 on their defense because you kind of have to, and you're sitting here trying to attack with like a plus 3 weapon here. We then have our Armin, another one of my pet projects. I love Armin. I want to use her so much more, and I do use her quite a bit, but we are missing that 15% effect chance here, which is massive when it comes to 4 different targets. It's 15% on each target I'm losing to get these 2 debuffs here. It's really, really frustrating, but I should use her more. She has been a great unit. And then we come to one of the units that definitely needs more Molagoras. We just put these recently into Charles. He's only sitting at plus 10. That means I can get another huge amount of damage and effect chance here, and some damage on his skill 3 as well. So that is a lot of Molagora I'm missing from one of my units that I theoretically should be using quite literally everywhere. We then got our Baiken, another character I've used a lot. She's plus 12, which I consider pretty much the minimum you need for her. You need the effect chance, and the combat readiness there. I would love to put in more into her, and I might use her more if I do, but probably not. Mildred is one of those ones. We just put a little bit of Molagoras in here and there to help farming. Kind of regret this, especially since I don't touch them at all now. We have Violet here. I accidentally skilled this one up, but don't judge me. Really happy about this 15. I love him to death. Really expensive Molagora wise. We have our Bellona, and our Bellona is sitting here missing a bunch of Molagora too. I don't think this one matters too much since I don't use her too much, but I would like some more. We then have Iseria, same deal here. I don't really use Iseria anymore, but if I was to use her, I feel like the damage would help out a ton. We've got Basar, who does not need Molagora, but let's be real, gets a huge benefit from them. Getting that extra 25% effect resistance or effectiveness there, getting that extra 15% here, getting that -1 cooldown, which does matter in longer battles. Vivian, a character that people have told me is good, but I legit just can't try. I can't do it. She is not usable, really IMO where it matters, without these Molagoras. So I'm missing the 5% combat readiness here, which helps out a lot, especially when combining in dual attacks. We're missing the damage here, so that's like 10, 20, 30, 40% damage dealt we're missing on her skill 2. We're missing the -1 turn cooldown on her skill 3 as well. We have Destina, a character I've used all the time since day 1. I think she was actually my first 5-star I ever summoned, and she's still sitting at +9, even though I love her to death and I use her all the time. And I've probably lost a lot of Guild Wars. Like, the more I realize right now looking at this, I've lost a lot of Guild Wars because she just barely didn't heal enough, and that means we're missing that 25% healing and that 25% healing here, and that makes me sad looking at this now. We then have another pet project, which is Rin. I do really like her, but this was a super waste. I lost so many Molagoras doing this, and I wish I could transfer them to somebody else. Not because I don't like Rin, just because I feel like they weren't worth it and they should have been put on somebody else. Next up, we have General Purgus, a character I use almost every Guild War, and I would love to Molagora him. He's a cool dude. Get that provoke chance here, get this combat readiness, get the -1 turn cooldown and the effect chance. I can't tell you how much this has missed before or how many times I've lost with this on 1 turn cooldown, but I legit just can't do it. It's not a thing that can happen, which is really frustrating. I would love to put more into him. We then have a flipping Judge Kisei. She's +10. How is a Judge Kisei, one of my most wanted units in the game at the start, +10? How am I missing 10%? A 15% effect chance. By the way, when we were doing Hell Raid the other day, we were like, wow, my Judge Kisei never hits defense break. It's 50-50 chance. How is she not hitting it? Well, it turns out it's not 50-50 chance. It's 35-65 because I don't have it Molagora'd. And then we're missing damage dealt on her skill 3, which isn't a huge deal, but back when I was cleaving on her, definitely was causing problems. We then have another one of my pet projects that is just ruining my account. Having these +10 worth Molagora into somebody more useful would make not only my offense but my defense infinitely better. We'd be able to max out the Charles, we'd be able to use a bunch of other things, but I really want to use Guider Aether every now and then. And to be able to use Guider Aether, I'm not even sitting at all the things I needed. I need this effect chance to realistically use his ability a little more, because right now we're sitting at 45%. We need to get that up to 60% to really see a lot of decreased speed. Same with this, same with the damage there. We're missing so much damage, and he's built to do a ton of damage here. It's kind of sad, like proportionate to damage dealt here too. Really sad. We've got our Blaze Dingo, a character I'm not really sad not Molagoraing, but let's be real. Having this up here would help a ton for his skill set. Made Chloe +15 easy. Made Apocalypse Rabbi +15 easy. A Cartusia, a character I've used on defense a lot, is still sitting here at +7 right now. We are missing so many skill ups here. Not that it matters now, but back then it definitely did. That chance to bleed, that damage dealt, that combat readiness. Kitty Clarissa, a character I wouldn't mind trying out a little more. Her Molagora doesn't matter too much, but we are missing. We're only sitting at 60% effect chance here. That means we're missing another 20% from our passive skill ups there, and it's sad. We've got our ML Ken, another one of those targets that I do need the 15 eventually. We're missing 3 into his +3, and also 15% chance to defense down. That is a lot of chance to defense down, and that makes me really sad not having that. So that's something that I need to upgrade right now. We've got our Fallen Cecilia, exact same thing here. We're missing the damage on her skill 1 and skill 3, which adds up so much. There's a reason when you fight a Fallen Cecilia, she kind of just whittles you away here and there, and it's that extra little bit of damage that helps us so very much. Then we've got our, wow, this is a long video, I'm so sorry. Then we've got our A Vildred right now, and our A Vildred is missing 20% damage and 3 combat readiness, and all of his skill 2, because I just legit have 0 Molagora to even try. Then we've got our BBK. Our BBK is a unit I want to pull out the box again soon, but I want to use her as a bruiser, and this is not going to work on a bruiser BBK. We're sitting here with all of those missing, and just this right now for a cleaving. If I was to use a bruiser BBK, she needs legit every last stat she can get, and she absolutely needs to be at least plus 14 with the healing and with all these things. Without that, you just can't really use her. We've got our A-lots here, missing combat readiness, even though it matters a lot, but it's just not something we can do. Cetaminial, again, missing all of the things here. That's a lot we're missing. It's too flippin' bad. Chloe, one of my favorite units ever. I just can't Molagora her because of reasons. Tywin, the same thing here. I probably would use him if I had more Molagora into him, but I just don't touch him because of that. We have Kali, one of my favorite design units. Run with me to the edge of the world. I love what she says when you summon her. She's awesome. But again, I cannot realistically try her out because I have no Molagora for her. I tried her out a couple times and she does no damage whatsoever. And her stun's not up enough. So you really, really, really need to get that Molagora damage in there, but you just can't. Same story with Yuna Girl. She's missing her, I don't know why she's even got this, but she's missing her cooldown, she's missing her damage. Like, all of that damage adds up so much. Same goes with Lots. I would use Lots so much more. If he had this Molagora in here, I would use him as a healer, I would use him as a booster, I would use him as all the things. In fact, I tried to use him once and I lost because my skill 2 did not have 100% combat readiness, and I was right behind after I boosted by like 5% CR. So that's really, really sad news. And there's people like Champion Zerato, somebody I don't really want to build, but he's so good that I should. But because I like to build who I want, there's no chance I can even put any into him. Haste, Tenebria, two exact same units for me. Both of them desperately, desperately need Molagora, especially Haste. He's a good unit. People hate him so much right now. Not hate him, but people are so sad with how effective he is right now. But I think he's a pretty solid unit. He just needs infinite Molagora to survive right now. And the same goes with Tenebria. You need that effect chance. You need that combat readiness. You need that effect chance, or else she's not doing jack. Oh my god, I could literally go down forever. Fighter Maya, Pavel would be nice to try. Cowrick I would have kept summoning if I had Molagora. Ravi, I want to try Ravi so bad. It would be so much fun to have fun with Ravi. Luluka that we just got from her daily. I can't, like, I can't. We're missing all that damage. We're missing this barrier strength. It's massive. We're missing the effect chance. And this is somebody who's been playing since day one of the game. I did not mean to turn this into a rant video. I was just gonna show you guys my Molagora and see what I feel, but looking at this, I'm like, wow, all these units I just wish I could use, and there's so many more. I would love to try out regular Fire Maya. I would love to try out regular Purgus. I would love to try out, who's even in my storage? I don't know. Not Ken. I would never try out Ken. That's stupid. Who's even in this here? Like, I would love to try out Sez again to see what he did. Surin would be so much fun to test out in PvE areas. Akadi's another unit that is getting all the love in the world right now. I just wish I could do it. I just wish I could. Shooting Star Akadi, same thing here. There's so many units I just want to use and want to have fun with, but I literally just can't. If I want to stay semi-competitive, especially for endgame guild wars and PvP and stuff like that, I literally just cannot do it. And this is really, really sad to me. Really sad. So this was just like, one, a showcase of where all my Molagora have went, and two, I guess this turned into a rant. I didn't mean it to be a rant, but it's more of just like, just let me Molagora stuff, you know? It's what I feel like is the most limiting factor to me having fun with, hey, Molagora Pog, having fun with units and testing them out and just overall enjoying the difference in units. So that's gonna be it for today. I wasn't sure what I was gonna do for a video. I just started it up and looked at my account, and that's the first thing I was like, wow, I'm really sad about this. So why not talk about it? Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always. Let me know how dumb my Mola choices were, and let me know if you've made any dumb Molagora choices too. I'd love to hear it. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.